Fine. So before we start our course, let me introduce what are the contents that we are going to cover here. Before content, we should know like what is the purpose to have this course Selenium with Java. So what is the scope of this one right now in the market? If you learn the course, can we get a job? Can we crack the interview? All those things. Okay. So if you wish to move to software field, there are many ways you can enter as a developer, as a tester, or some admin, database guy, something like that. Okay. Most people will be preferring to move through some non-coding stuff, but that is not really good thing. But you should have a little bit of coding. Without this, you can't survive in IT. Okay, but if you want to become a developer, you need to have more coding experience. But if you want to become some automation tester, moderate coding experience. There are few things like without coding also, people say there are few jobs, but those will not be a long-term jobs. Whereas if you move towards development or testing like automation, then you will be having long-term jobs. There is no need for you to bother about learning switching from one tool to other tool. For example, if you take Selenium itself from 2012 onwards, okay, from 2012 onwards, Selenium is there, okay. So it came into market, so it has competed with the very famous tool during that time called QTP, also called as UFT, okay. So this was very famous tool before Selenium came. If you ask your seniors or your brothers or some okay people who already have some 10 plus years of experience, if you ask them like when they started their career, what is the course that was I mean popular in Amirpet or somewhere, they will tell you like testing tools like QTP, UFT, something like that. So those were licensed tools. Once Selenium came, so people started moving towards open source. So they have opted Selenium. So now everywhere you see Selenium, okay, Selenium or automation like that, okay. So now question is, so there are many automation tools. So why should we learn Selenium only? Okay, so because Selenium is meant for automating web applications, okay, Selenium is meant for automating web applications. If you take any applications that you interact on a daily basis, if you observe, like from the time you get up from the bed till you go to bed again, so you will be interacting mostly with mobile applications or web applications, okay. So Selenium is such tool which can automate both mobile applications also, because there is one more version called Appium, that is again the advanced version for Selenium called Appium, so which you can use for automating mobile applications. So that's the reason now industry is more focusing on tools such as Selenium, which you can use to automate the application which industry is developing. So industry is developing mostly what applications? Web applications and mobile applications, okay. Because if we take 100 applications that are developing today per day, let's say, in that mostly 80% of applications will be web applications and mobile applications only. The remaining 20 will be SAP applications, mainframe applications, etc. Okay, like that. So Selenium is one which you can use for web applications. The majority development is on web application. If you just observe what is Selenium site, if you just see selenium.dev, okay, this is the website right now. Okay, this is the official website of Selenium. Okay, so this itself says that this is the first page of the Selenium website, official website. It says like Selenium automates browser. That's it. That's it. If you have any application which you can launch it on any browser, it can be a Chrome browser, it can be Internet Explorer, it can be a Firefox, it can be Edge, whatever it may be. If you have some application which you can launch on any of the browser, then you can automate that application using Selenium. That's what this sentence means, okay. Selenium automates browser. and there is no need for you to pay any money to use Selenium because it's an open source. Okay, you can just download and you can start working with. Okay, so that's the importance of Selenium. And if you take any job portal, maybe Naukri, whatever job portals you take, if you search for the Selenium courses, then you can say like you have more, okay, you more openings towards Selenium. Okay, so uh, it's a good step to take now if you want to enter into IT, or if you want to progress or upgrade your skills. Okay, if you're already a manual tester, then the good scope will be towards automation using Selenium. Of course, there are many tools apart from Selenium, like Tosca. You have UFT, you have RFT, etc. But Selenium is the one which is having more, okay, focus. Okay, more openings. Okay, now people have some questions. Okay, like, sir, Selenium, we people are telling like Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Selenium with something Ruby, C sharp. Which one is the best one? If you ask me the question, I will tell you like Selenium with Java. Okay, Selenium with Java is the most demanded. Okay, there was a hype created with for Python, but really not really required. Okay, because Python is meant only for a bigger applications where you have huge data, you need to write algorithms, you need to use some stats, scripting, all those things, mainly meant for, okay, so data science, artificial intelligence, neural networks, like that, but not for like silly things like to automate web application, to automate mobile application. There is no need for Python. Okay, of course you can use it, has given the privilege, but there is no need. So Selenium with Java will have more importance. If you take Selenium itself, okay, Selenium jobs, out of 100 jobs, you will see 70 jobs asking for Selenium with Java concepts, and remaining 30% will be the remaining stuff like Selenium with Java or Selenium with C sharp or Selenium with Python, like that. Okay, or Selenium with Ruby, like. So Selenium with Java is the right course to choose. Okay, because I have been in industry for a long time, almost I'm going to complete 13 and a half years now. So I can just, it's not like because I teach Selenium with Java, I know Selenium with Python also, but I prefer Selenium with Java because there is more demand and more JDs, I mean job description, coming towards Selenium with Java. Okay. So any questions so far before we start something?
Sir, why Selenium plus Java more demand? Can you explain this?
Yes, yes. So because if you see here, Selenium with Java, so of course Python is a simple language, you can just learn it. But I told you like Python is something which is meant for very high-end applications. Okay, if you want to go towards data science, if you want to go towards artificial intelligence, if you want to write complex algorithms, then you can go with Python. Okay, but for simple thing now, right now, whatever the that is one thing, that is one simple reason. The second main reason is because you have Java community spread over across the world. Okay, you have many people who know Java, and there is a community base. Okay, if you have some problem now or today, if you have some problem with some context with Selenium with Java, if you post that question, you will get the answers immediately, because there are many people who are working on Selenium with Java. You will get answers very easily, right? So that is the first main reason. Okay, first main reason is you have Java people, Java community, a big community, because Java has many users, many applications being developed, many people know Java, so everyone contributing to Java. So if you know Selenium with Java, it will be easy for you to do any complex works. Okay, that is one thing. Clear with this one? Because you have Selenium with Java based community, more community. Of course, Python is not a new language. Okay, Python is language which was introduced in 1991 itself. Okay, Python was introduced in 1991, whereas Java was introduced in 1996. But Python was not, what's, it's like a dead snake for a long time. Why? Because With Python 2 version, there was no much usage. Once they implemented Python 3 version, from that time onwards, data was growing and data science came into picture. From that time onwards, people started using Python. Otherwise, there was no much demand for Python before data science came into picture. Okay, so Python, I can say, meant only for that things like data science, artificial intelligence, neural networks, not like for simple applications. Got it? For enterprise level, there is no need. Okay, if you want to go beyond that, okay, data mining, many things if you want to do, then you can go with such language, scripting languages. Okay.
Sir, we will use only Java technology in Selenium. The other technologies also.
Only right now, you can use, if you want to develop test scripts, okay, you can use anything, Selenium with Python or Selenium with Java or Selenium with Ruby or Selenium with C Sharp. But I'm telling you, like, so most of the projects which are running right now or which are going to come are adopting Selenium with Java. The main reason is you have big community, Java community, so where you can get your troubleshooting very easily. If you are stuck at some point, if you post something in some forum, you will get answers very quickly. Whereas for C Sharp or for Python or Ruby, you may not get answers very quickly. Okay, that's the thing. Okay. Clear? Okay, so now, so if you are coming from manual testing background, you might be knowing what scenario is, right? What is scenario? Test scenario. So I think many people from testing background, you can answer it easily. Okay.
What to test it?
So perfect. What to test is nothing but test scenario. Basically, it's nothing but feature or something which functionality what you want to test, what to test. Okay. So basically, what to test is nothing but test scenario. And you will be writing test cases for this, right? You will be writing test cases for this test scenario, right? Test cases, right? So what do you mean by test case? So basically your test case will have some set of steps like how to test. Like basically how to test is nothing but your test case. Okay, test case with valid inputs or invalid inputs, all those things which will have all the steps like to perform. Step one, I want to launch the browser. Step two, I want to enter the URL. Step three, I want to enter a username. Step four, like that you will be writing. Okay, all those things comes under test case. So now what do you mean by automation? So till this point you have your thing is manual, okay, manual. What do you mean by automation? Automation is nothing but if you have something which converts this test case to test scripts, okay. Here test TS is nothing but test scripts. So the mechanism of converting your test cases to test script using some tool is nothing but automation. Okay, is nothing but automation. So for example, now if you use Selenium, then okay, for automating your test cases to test scripts, so that is nothing but automation. So automation is nothing but the conversion of test cases to test scripts using some tool. That tool may have some language behind, or it may be some easy tool. Sometimes if you take Tosca, if you take some tools, it may be easy, but those will have, you need to pay more. Okay, if you take UFT, all those things. But Selenium, you need to write some code. There will be some backend code that you need to write to develop the test scripts. Okay, so that's what we are going to learn throughout this course. Okay, for this we need to have Selenium and Java. Okay, so now question is like how we are going to cover this whole course. Okay, let me take Paint and I will discuss with that. Okay, any questions before we go? Fine. So now coming to here, it is something like I will start with something called Java. Okay, Java season 1, Java season 1. Okay, so this will be from very basic Java season 1, from very basic, like I will just introduce like what Java is. So I will not go in theory parts because no one asks questions from theory like what is history of Java, who invented Java. All these things are not necessary. I will directly start with features of Java, because you should know the features of of something if before you start, right? For example, let's say you want to buy some iPhone or something, like, okay, some phone. You'll just see the features, and then if you like those features, then you'll start buying that. So you should know some features of Java, not all the features, the most popular features which we should know. Like, before using Java, you should know like why this Java became more popular. But I won't go into much theory, mostly some practical things I will be starting with, like features of Java. After that features of Java, then we'll see a JDK installation, that is nothing but Java installation or Java download, we say. So we need to know how to download Java, and because you will need to work on your own, I will show you like how to download Java and what will be there in real time, because in real time you may not have the privilege to download JDK, all those things. You may need to write some ticket. I will tell you like how in industry it works, but in your laptop or in your system, if you practice, then how to do that installation. Okay, that is JDK installation or Java installation. And you need to know like Java configuration, because once you install Java, you will be JDK, you will have something called JDK folder, and you need to know the JDK folder. How does it work on JDK folder structure? What are the importance of each folder? So that's how we need to learn. It is not just like just download Java, start running program, not like that. So you should know like what each folder does having the importance. For example, now let me show you. For example, if you download Java JDK, it will go and sit into the C drive. In program files, there will be a folder called Java getting created. Inside that, you will have JDK. I have downloaded many JDKs, different versions of JDK, and let me show one JDK here. So you will have like this. Okay, in this there are three main important folders like JRE, lib, bin. So we need to know like what is the importance of each folder. Okay, so that we are going to learn in JDK. Okay, JDK folder. After that, you will start with okay, so Java structure of Java program, structure of Java program, structure of Java program. And then we have few important things that we need to cover, uh, like we have variables, data types in Java. Okay, so data types in Java, variables in Java. Okay, variables in Java. And then we have in Java, and then we have naming structure. Okay, let me,
Sir, data structure also mentioned.
not data structures, data types. Data structure is different. Okay, that will be under C language. Okay, and that is different. Okay, so variables in Java. Then we have Java naming conventions. Okay, and then we will start with methods in Java, and then Java memory blocks. All these things will be covered in season 1. Java memory blocks. After that, then we'll start with very important concept called OOPS. Okay, object oriented programming. There are four main pillars, like first of all, what is an object? Okay, what is an object, what is class, and four pillars, like you have first one, like, okay, encapsulation. So all these things we are going to cover in detail. And encapsulation, polymorphism. And then we have something called, okay, inheritance. Okay, inheritance. And then we have something called abstraction. Once we complete abstraction, then only I can start season 1 of Selenium. Okay, once we complete this one. Okay, apart from this, we will cover operators in Java, for loop, while loop, all those simple things which are needed for programming. So we will cover that one in season 1. and then we'll move on to the next one. Is once we complete abstraction, because abstraction will have something called abstract class and interface, because Selenium, whatever we are going to learn is nothing but Selenium WebDriver, which is nothing but interface. Selenium WebDriver is an interface, so that we are going to learn. So if you want to learn that one, then you should know about okay, so we'll start with Selenium, sorry, Selenium season 1, where we are going to cover. So what is Selenium? Like Selenium WebDriver, okay, WebDriver, and architecture of Selenium. So architecture of Selenium. After this, we will be learning about okay, we'll learn like what are the methods in WebDriver. Methods in WebDriver, there are totally 13 methods are there. So you need to know those 13 methods, importance of 13 methods. And then we'll see like methods in web element, because you need to do different actions when you see a web application. For example, now if I say some web application like this, for example, if you take this application itself, there is something called link, there is something called text, there is something called drop down, something like this, okay. So you need to interact with all these things if you want to know how to interact, because if you are interacting manually here, but if you want to do through scripts, you should know the methods. So methods in web element, so there are totally 16 methods there in this web element that you need to know. And apart from this, you need to locate these things, because now if you see any application, for example this one, or if I say like Facebook or adapt in hotel app, like so this is the application. So I can see with my naked eye, like this is the text box and this is my okay password, this is the button, this is the hyperlink, all those things I can locate and I can type. But you need to locate by script. So there are something called locators here, so that you need to load locators in Selenium. So totally 8 locators are there, 8 ways to locate any element you see on a web page. So locators you should know. And then you will be learning like how to handle links, how to handle links, okay, how to handle, okay, how to handle drop downs, okay, drop down, drop downs, like this, drop downs. Once you are done with Selenium, season 1 of Selenium, then we'll go back again to Java season 2, where we will be learning about collections. This is very important topic, okay, collections. So we'll see like before collections, we'll see this is Java season 2, sorry, Java season 2, where we are going to know about arrays. Then we'll see about strings, because strings are very important things that you need to know, okay, because there are many, whenever the interviewer starts, he will start with Java questioning only. So he will start with OOPS concepts. If you are good at OOPS concept, then he will start with arrays and strings problem. So it will be something like he will be giving some string like this, okay? Something like string str equal to something like ABC, ADE, okay, okay, BCD, EFG, something like this. He will ask you to find the first non-repeating character in the string. These type of questions will be asked in real time in the interview, okay? It won't be like what is Selenium, what is test case, not this way. It will be like direct this question, you need to write your code on by your own. So we are going to learn all those things in strings and arrays here, okay. After that we'll see collections concept, which is very important, collections. So in collections is again a big topic. So, and one more thing I want to mention here, whatever the Java we are going to learn is nothing but 40% of the core Java only, not 100%, okay. 40% of Java, core Java, okay. That is enough for you, because if you are developer, then you need to learn 100%. But for an automation tester, if you are strong in this 40%, what we are going to teach here, because core Java itself is a 40 to 60 days course. Now Selenium with Java is 40 days course. So we are not going to cover total Java. It's not necessary for you as well, okay. Even interviewer may not be knowing that 100% of Java, because he's not a developer, okay. He is automation tester. So that's the reason. So we'll be learning us core Java concepts. almost like 40%. So we'll go with strings and then collections. As I told you, in collections we'll be learning not all collection classes. We'll be learning few classes like array list. Array list is one class, and hash set is one hash set. Okay, hash set. Once we know this array list hash set, and then we will have something called exception handling mechanism. Exceptions, exception handling. So this is what we are going to cover, like how you can handle exception. Basically, exception as of now, you can think like there is some error getting which about your program. Let's say you have 1,000 lines of code and you are running the program. Let's say there is error occurring at 500 line, the remaining 500 lines will not work. But if you handle in a smooth way, like you think like there may be exception at 500 line, you can use some exception handling techniques so that you can smoothly run 1,000 lines of code. That's what exception handling, which we are going to learn in depth when we start our course. Okay, fine. So exception handling mechanism that we are going to see. So once we are done with season 2 of Java, then we will go with, okay, then we'll go with again season 2 of Selenium. Okay, season 2 of Selenium. Let me take one more. Okay, any questions before we okay, any questions? No questions? Okay, fine. So in Selenium season 2, in Selenium season 2, we are going to learn like how to automate okay, how to automate radio buttons. So how to handle multiple windows means multiple tabs. For example, now let's say you have this application. Assume like you have this application now. There are two images. When I click this one, you will get one more tab here. Okay, if you have some test case like you need to launch this application, you need to click this Google Play, something like that, then you will have this tab and you need to do some action on this tab, not on the previous one, this tab. So manually I am clicking here on the tabs and switching, but now how you can do that one? So by using this multiple windows or multiple tabs technique. Okay, that we are going to learn. Like we will be learning about checkboxes. Okay, then we will learn about web tables, and then we will see something like synchronization or weights concepts, where this is one important interview question may be asked here. Like we will have different types of weight concepts like implicit weight, explicit weight, fluent weight. What is the importance of this one? So can you write the syntax? This type of questions will be asked. Okay, so you need to know this one. Okay, so apart from this, we'll be learning like how to handle your uh, web tables we have seen. Okay, how to handle calendar. Okay, calendar, because if you see applications like, for example, if it is take SpiceJet. Okay, for example, if you take SpiceJet application. Okay, so once you see here, you will see the calendar, right? How to handle this type of thing. So if you choose the calendar here, okay, so how to handle, because you will be just providing the test data, you will have some data, but how it chooses the right one. For example, now here in this case, you have something called calendar here, right? Okay, it's still loading. Fine. So see here, it is loading for some time. So your script need to wait for that. So that's the reason you will use synchronization. Okay, all those things. And this type of alerts also. Okay, fine. We'll come to that one. So if you see here, once you click this one, you'll get okay, you will get something like this. So you can how to choose some date from here. Okay, so that's all those things, calendars, and you will have something called frame handling techniques. Frame handling. So what is a frame? All those things that we'll discuss later on. And then we have something alerts handling, pop-ups handling, because you will see pop-ups. So how to handle pop-ups, all those things that we'll be learning in season 2 of Java. I think we will cover more than this what I mentioned here. Okay, uh, this one. And Then we'll come back to season 3 of Java. Okay, season 3 of Java, which is mostly on where we are going to learn season 3. So Java season 3, where we are going to learn mostly on, okay, mostly on the file handling, like file handling, and hash map. That is one more uh, topic under collection. It's a separate map interface. So you need to, it's used to store key value pairs. Anyway, we are going to go in depth more once we start that concepts, because in real time you'll be using these classes. You have other things also apart from this: array list, hash set, hash map. You have vector, stack, linked list.
This data structure,
You have
hash
something.
map,
Yeah,
and
yeah, hash map we are going to learn because it's very important. Okay, so we'll be using in real time hash map. We have a key value pair to store key value pair, all those things. Yeah. What is your question, Aziz?
so this is hash map and array list. This total data structure. Nothing.
Yeah, it's a collection concepts here. Data structure is again, it's internally there is data structure being implemented. Okay, if you take array list, it is nothing but arrays. Okay, which are stored in indexed format. Okay, if we take hash set, it is nothing but stored and based on hashing technique like hash table inside that. If you take data structure, that is separately, again, that's a separate concept. It will be a very huge one. So that is again like a double linked list, a circular list, that all those things. But we are not going to cover those things. That's what I told you. Like, okay. So this is core Java. That is 40% of the core Java. You should be perfect. If you are learning this concept perfectly, then you can crack Selenium interview. That's for sure. Okay. So coming to here, file handling, you will be learning like how to read Excel, okay? Because mostly in real time, you may have some, you will be having your test data written in Excel. So you need to know how to read an Excel, how to write an Excel, how to read a JSON file, okay? JSON file, or how to write, okay, I edit the JSON file like this. Because in real time, you will be having your test data, maybe in the form of Excel, maybe in the form of JSON file, maybe in the form of CSV file, something like this. Okay, so you need to know the ways how to handle this one. So we'll be covering most of the stuff here regarding file handling in Java season 3, and then we will go for framework. Season 3 of Selenium is nothing but frameworks. Okay, season 3 of Selenium is the framework. This is a very important, the heart of the course. Okay, heart of the course is Selenium with framework. Okay, heart of the course is frameworks. Okay, fine. So in the frameworks we are going to see, okay, um, so there are many frameworks we have in. So we'll start with the data driven framework, modular framework, and then we will have this keyword driven framework, and then we will use something called page object model. Okay, POM, page object model, page object model. This is a pattern, not the framework. People have a misunderstanding like this is a framework. No, this is a pattern applied to any framework. And there is a important framework that is being used in industry, which is nothing but hybrid framework, which is a combination of above three mentioned frameworks. Okay, hybrid framework. So someone, if you ask interview question like what kind of framework you are using, you can answer like, so we are using hybrid framework with page object model pattern. Okay, our data is coming from Excel, so it's kind of a data driven also. We have our locators and properties file, it's kind of keyword driven, so I can say like it's a hybrid framework. That should be kind of answer to a question like what framework you are using. Okay, got it. So apart from this, there is one more type of framework which is being popular from the last 5 years. That is nothing but BDD framework. BDD framework, that is behavior driven development using Cucumber. So that we are going to see. Okay, Cucumber is again one more API. Okay, so we are going to learn like how to develop a BDD framework using Cucumber, and why it is more becoming more popular, because if you see this Cucumber framework, it is very simple to write. It's mostly in plain English like that. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to cover as part of Selenium season 4. Okay, Selenium season 3, sorry, season 3. Apart from this we will have, okay, this is Selenium season 3. Okay, Selenium season 3. So apart from this, we should know few more things like, okay, what is Maven? Okay, these are all the things that we are going to learn apart from what I have told you. These are very important things as per, okay. So we need to know like what is Maven. Okay, this is a project management tool. Okay, so because nowadays all the projects are Maven projects or Gradle projects, so you should know Maven configuration, Maven lifecycle. Apart from this, we should know something about GitHub, because you should have some knowledge on version controlling tool. So you should know about GitHub, because you are not the only one person working in the team. So for automation, there will be a number of persons will be working. So how your versions are getting controlled, because you may need to work on same file which other person also working. How you are going to work with, how you are going to exchange those things, how you are controlling the versions, because you should not mess the code. Okay, so you should use GitHub will be useful in that context. So you should know about GitHub, and you should know about Jenkins, because this is for CI/CD process, CI/CD continuous integration deployment process. Okay, apart from this, okay, these are the main things that we'll be covering apart from what we are in Selenium. Okay, in frameworks. Okay, so yeah, and one more thing, like Selenium grid, we are going to cover Selenium grid, because if you want to run something Selenium grid in parallel, if you want to do cross browser testing, you should know about Selenium grid. Okay, so these are all the things that we are going to cover. Okay, any questions here? Yeah,
Sir, we use Git also.
yeah, GitHub, Git, correct. So that's what I mentioned here.
No, sir, Git.
Sorry,
Git, sir. Only Git.
Git only.
Git, sir. Git.
Git, correct. Git is nothing but the commands. Okay, what you are going to use. GitHub is
Yeah.
nothing but it's a platform. That's it. Okay, Git is nothing but GitHub, GitLab, GitHub. There are different things. Okay, so through
Yes.
that, it's nothing but Git will be having different forms. You can use GitLab, GitHub, something like that. Okay, SVN, whatever it may be. Okay, so these are the version controlling tools. So we are going to use Git. Okay, so any questions you have? Okay, so let me stop the
Sir,
recording. Yeah.